Okay, so Sister Pauline, please, if you can just take us through the housekeeping quickly.
Okay, lovely. Yes, so certainly, Brother Ambi. Greetings to each and everyone. Morning, afternoon, good evening. Everyone is currently muted. Please stay on mute while the presentation is going on. That is basically out of respect for our leaders, our managers, who's also taking the time to be here and edify us. If you do want to ask questions, if we have time for Q&As after, put your hands up and we will get to you as soon as we can. We'll do our endeavors to get to you. As you can appreciate, apologies for yesterday. No doubt Brother Ambi will come in and go through that a little bit more as to what happened, because I was contacted after. With that being said, Brother Ambi, go straight into it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for making it this evening. It's really very sorry about what happened yesterday. We had a power cut and it literally shut down everyone. I'm not sure why it did not move the host from me to one of the other leaders who was in the house yesterday. But I'm sure we're going to find a solution for this power cut thing before it's too long. Um, Thank you all so much for making it this evening. As I said earlier, we have a really short agenda focusing on a number of on some of the developments that we are busy with, some of the improvements, and trying to make the platform a lot more accessible and um, a lot more user friendly. So with that, I'll invite Dr. Linus. Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Linus. Good evening, Dr.
Good
Linus,
evening. Good evening.
and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you very much, Brother Ambi. Sister Pauline, Sister Lumba.
Sorry,
Okay,
Dr. Linus. Yes, it was Brother Ambi's place. So he's sorted it or sorting it. So continue,
all
sir.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so a warm welcome to everybody. Just a number of key announcements. If you haven't noticed, I think we've mentioned it before. Stimulus payments now start on the 23rd. So they started last night after midnight. So some of you would have received already. If not, just log in as frequently as you can between now and the 28th, when we expect that all the payments would have been processed. Certainly before the 28th. That's the first announcement. The second one is, of course, we have all seen the challenges, even during our daily sessions, when sometimes we have tried to connect to demonstrate something, and just at that particular time, we haven't been able to gain access. And it's been something that has been quite a concern. So we've been looking at it in the background. And what really, what they say is the last straw was the experience that we had with Peter Mutuku, if you remember, last week. And we very kindly asked Peter to stay behind, and he did. And we spent literally hours. Peter is here. Peter, thank you very much. We spent hours together with thank you. Together with Sister Lumba, Sister Pauline, on the phone, really trying to get to the bottom of what could be causing the difficulty in registering and the difficulty in accessing his account. But the issues that he had brought to the daily session were real, and I experienced it firsthand, because we looked at it and we tried all kinds of things, and obviously he was having challenges. And so we decided to literally take very drastic action, so drastic that we've made some really significant changes. I mean, these are major changes in terms of where you go online and click, you might not notice any difference. The key things you will notice are maybe some of the postings that you had previously posted are now not displaying. We would continue to work in the background to try and make sure that those can also be accessed and displayed. But the reason for that is because we've had to really reconstruct the engine, so to speak, so that it can run smoothly. And if I could just take the opportunity to show you what it looks like now, and then before I do that, I want to make one plea to the community at large. Please, for those who are here, I'd like you to go on to Connect and post whatever content you need to post. Nothing has changed in terms of the way that you get rewarded when you interact in the community. That still remains, but we obviously want to make sure that it is smooth and it's not causing any challenges for anyone. But most importantly, let's all get in and let's interact. Let's get some content on and see how it behaves over the next few days before we start thinking of copying any other historical information across. So that is the first plea. It's a very important plea, and it's a direct plea to everyone who is here and to everyone that you will be talking to. Let's all come in to Connect. Your username and password hasn't changed. It's the same. So you should be able to just log in and do what you need to do and so forth. So let me just show you very quickly. So even as recently as what we showed yesterday, it's not what is applicable now, because even yesterday when Sister Pauline tried to do that demo, there was a little bit of a slow interaction, which is not what we expect. We want it to be very smooth for everybody. The reason for that is that this year is a massive onboarding year where we need to onboard and reach out to as many people as possible across all the corners, all the villages, and so forth, particularly with our global country structures that we are putting in place to drive that effort right into every household. So without much further ado, I'm going to share my screen, and so we can take a look at what is there. I'm just going to concentrate on the key highlights so we don't waste any time, but the best way is to actually go on and interact with the system yourself. So let me make that bigger. So now, if you just go to Connect, it's in fact, you might not notice other than the activity stream and others, you may not even see that it's changed too much. Okay, the first change is that on the left-hand side, if you are accessing this on a laptop, you will see there is a panel on the left-hand side. Again, this panel, we can put any combination of menus on it, but you should be able to just click on the drop-down. Why was this important? It was important because we have all observed that when members of the community are doing presentations like Sister Pauline and other members of our leadership team, sometimes there is a bit of a struggle with where to click on the mouses using these top level menus. So what we've done is we've introduced them here so that they're also permanently available here on the left-hand side. Okay. And so if you are talking about Connect, you can just keep the Connect menus open. So you just click and not have to rely on what is happening with this drop-down menus here. But those drop-down menus are still there. Nothing has changed. Okay. You may find that one or two of the links is not working yet, particularly on that Connect, because the huge change, and I'm talking major changes, have gone into Connect. Okay. So again, to go into the activity stream or where you post and share content, you would just click on post and share content in the same way, and that will display this in this format. You might notice the display is slightly different. Typically, the sidebars on either side are not now showing when you just go in as a guest. Okay, so to log in, if you are accessing this on a laptop, you would need to click on the sign in button here. To create an account, you need to click on sign up button here. And when you do that, this should open. When that opens, you provide this basic information. Because there is a lot that has happened in the core, the additional information that you need to supply, just like Sister Pauline showed yesterday, we're still adding that. But don't worry, all your information that you had provided before is still there. It's just now sitting in a different area because of the challenges we're having and the changes that really must be made to pave way for the large numbers of people that are coming on board. Okay, so you'll enter your email address, your password, your first name, your last name, and then because of the confusion with username being your first name, middle name, and the last name together, we've decided to call this login name the nickname. So the nickname is what will be part of your profile. So my nickname is LETUB. It's just my initial and my last name, and that's what would appear at the end of my Connect profile link as the unique part of the Connect profile link. That will stay the same. We've just called it a different name here, just for clarity, to avoid confusion on that and the full names or the names as they may appear on other platforms. Once you've done that, you just click create account, and then you go through the process. To log in, of course, you just enter your username and your password in the usual way, okay? And you should then be able to go in. The expectation is that the experience should be much smoother. I have access to the course portal. This is why you see this display. So many of you would not see this, but for those people in the community who want to participate in providing courses, we can give you access to this portal so that you can start building courses and making those available to the community. So these tools are there. So I'm just going to exit that. Now, if you have access to that part of the system, and only very few people would, these will typically be instructors. Then when you log in for the first time, you will see that, okay? When you log in, you will see that. So let me see. I'm just going to log in again. So the intention here was to exit the dashboard, not to log out completely, but just to exit this dashboard. Or if you don't want to exit the dashboard, you can just come in here and type another link to connect.swiffen.com. It's still asking me to sign in when I'm already signed in. Let's see, just a sec. Just one moment. I'm going to use a different browser. We've been working on a lot of things on my in the course of the day today, so that's why I was just clearing the cache. Let me have a look again one more time. Try connect. So to log in, you click sign in. You should be presented with this screen. You will enter your username and password. You log in. I'm just going to try with this one that doesn't have access to the instructor portal. So for most people, when you log in, this is what you should see. Now, from time to time, you may be presented with this either before you log in or at random or at any time. Just solve the puzzle as needed and then go in. This is to prevent bots and others and other computer-generated users from accessing the system and slowing it down and making it difficult for normal users to access it. Okay, so you'll have this panel on the left-hand side, and then you have the top menu there on the left, on the top. So again, where you would typically post and share content, you just click there. The key thing is, if you see this, we used to have that link going to post, and it is still linking to the previous post. So you need to click here to actually update it to activity, which is here. All right. So if it's using cache, then you might see this. We now have the user completion widget right on the right hand side of the screen, as you can see here. That should guide you when you log in to see what you need to do. For most people, when you log in now, you will see this. Don't worry about that, but that's because we want to make sure that this part of the system is very stable, and then we would move the basic data that you have provided previously into this area. That's fine. That's why I'm saying as many of us should go in as possible and just try and see if it can keep up with the amount of information that is being bombarded on it and the number of people trying to access at the same time. Okay, that is important. Now, previously you had everything being done on this main activity stream, but at the moment you can go to a particular user, and from that particular user's profile, the experience will be slightly different in terms of what you might be able to see. When you go to a user's profile, we now provide the opportunity to see their connections here on the top right. To connect with them, if you are not already connected, then there should be a button on their profile which you just click to connect, and that's what you should see. Then the other key change is on the way some other parts of the system are displayed, even though the actual core hasn't changed, but the way the information is displayed is now different. And that is the courses. So when you go to courses now, it looks, you will still see the familiar courses that are listed like that. To enroll on any one of them, you just need to click on it in the usual way. This hasn't changed at all, but the way that is displayed, you may notice that it may be different. Like this page, for example, that is different from what you're used to, but nonetheless, it is really designed to make it more easily accessible for everybody. Okay. The other thing that is different is on the shopping side, the way that the shopping cart is displayed is now going to be slightly different. So if you have something on your shopping cart, you can of course just click that icon on the top right, and it should take you to your cart. And it's much cleaner. It's also much easier to maneuver and deal with. If you want to proceed to checkout at this point, you can just click that and go to checkout. Where you apply the coupon is still the same, as you can see in the middle of that screen. But this is a much cleaner display, which I hope would make it easier for people to process purchases on checkout, okay, with far fewer challenges than we have had recently. I think those are the key changes. The key thing is, please go in, and most importantly, let's focus our attention on the connect part of the system. The other parts are very much untouched. So if you want to access your account, it's still the same. That hasn't changed. Okay, so you'll go to that menu item. and you should be able to log in from there. Okay. Transact is still the same. So to log into Transact, you'll click here. The display is now more spacious. So it's easier for you to actually see what you're doing. It's not so cramped. And hopefully that will give people a much better experience in navigating all the parts of the system. So this is Transact. Generally, you'll just log into Transact in the way that we are all familiar with, by putting your email address and your password and then logging in. Now, the display is much better, as you can see, and it's not so cramped. But at the same time, while you are in Transact doing what you need to do, other parts of the system are literally just a single click away. If you want to now switch to courses, you just click there. If you want to look at your videos and your photos and participate in the forums, this is new. Okay, this is one area where we expect some degree of interaction across the community to going forward. Okay, so to access your account, still the same thing. You go under account, you click that menu item there, log into your account. As I said, it's cleaner, but nothing has changed in the core of the account system. Okay, you'll just log in the usual way and access the information that you need to access. I'll do that just to show you everything is working fine. As I've said, the stimulus payment is going on at the moment, so many of you will be receiving your T1s, T2, all the way to T5, and of course the 6.26 AKL monthly, and that is the 29th monthly stimulus payment. The 29th monthly stimulus payment. It's quite phenomenal. We've been going for quite some time. Okay, so Sister Pauline, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Before you leave this, before you leave Dr. Linus, where does people find their profile picture now so that they can link it to their accounts?
Okay. So
before you had a picture there, or you had an avatar there. Now I don't see it. So where is it now?
Okay, so what you do is it's still there. The avatar is still there. You just can't see it very clearly. So you click on it. I just logged into my wife's account because it's not connected to the instructor dashboard, which was giving me trouble.
So you have to use the little one up there. You don't use the big one that was on the left-hand side anymore.
On the left-hand side, yes. On the left-hand side now, we've removed that. And the reason we've removed that is in preference for this side panel, so that we can fit more things there that people might need to access, particularly the support team and management. Sometimes you need to be able to switch between multiple screens and multiple parts of the system. So having it this way and this layout is actually a big improvement in terms of accessibility. But it's now, things are also much easier. When you click on that little button on the top right, it has an avatar there, but you just can't see it very clearly. And then you go to profile, you can then click on edit, okay? When you click on edit, then it will allow you to make changes to where you are allowed to make changes. And one of the changes you can make, of course, is on your profile photo, for example. So you can click that and it will give you the option to change your profile photo. You can either, this is another huge improvement, okay? So now you can simply click on take photo with your camera and you can take a live picture and it can upload it. The other improvement is that you can now use your camera and capture a video and just upload the video immediately, okay? So these are big changes. So I can select from my profile, from my file system. Now, this is just to show you, of course, okay. Now, one of the problems that we had before was that people were putting profile pictures with their head not showing properly.
Yes.
And so forth.
Yes.
So it is now important that you use this tool to actually position your profile picture so that it displays as best as you can see it yourself, okay? Somewhat like that, for example.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
I would approve your KYC with that.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Other than the fact that it's of course
your wife's account, but
yes. Okay. So if you're happy with this, then you click on crop, and it instantly appears on the top right. You can now see it there, right?
Yes. But
Very
how
good.
would I, when you go on to say your transact and you have to link your Connect account, where would I go to? Because before we had it on the left-hand side where we just hovered over it and we saw what the link was and we could just copy and paste the link address. How would we do that now?
Okay. Now it's actually a lot easier actually as well. So you click on this button here, view profile. And that should take you straight to the profile.
Okay.
And you see that URL, same URL that we are familiar with.
No, that says member. That says member. That doesn't say profile.
That doesn't say profile. No. You are right, isn't it? You are right. Well spotted. Well spotted. Well spotted. That's fine. I mean, that's something we can change in the background to maintain consistency with what we had before.
Yeah, because you're going to get people getting confused because we've jumped it into their head. It's connect.swiffin.com/profile/username/. And a lot of people have got that in their heads. If you're going to change it, it's another lot of explaining, saying no, it's exactly the same thing. So if it's at all possible, because my concern is people are not going to know where their profile link is to enable them to copy and paste that onto their Connect, onto their Swiffin, and onto their Transact accounts.
Okay, there is something we have. Well, it was always the case anyway. What people need to remember is just their nickname. Okay, which is what we used to call the username before, but that was confusing between the actual person's real names. So hopefully that would also help. I hope.
I am not so sure. I just think people should be using their name. This is an official website, and they should use their names, especially for us in Transact, who is going to have to check all these details. If they start using their pet names, we're going to be confused what one is real.
It is important to emphasize there, Sister Pauline, and you are absolutely right, that people must use their real names. This is not a site for just, it's to connect people and connect people in a meaningful way so that they can transact and participate in the real economy. It's not for just having fun and browsing videos and all that. But we also want to make sure that those important moments in your life that are so important to you, you can keep them here and you can share with other members of the community in the same way that you can on Facebook and LinkedIn and other social media sites. But full name, okay? Now, there is another improvement, which is here. You can see here, it says @DNETUBE. So that is like your handle. So when somebody's now posting a comment and they type @DNETUBE, I will get notified that I've actually been mentioned in that particular comment. Okay, it's just a very quick and easy way of bringing somebody's attention to what you are typing or a story you are telling. They don't have to be online, but the moment they will be notified that they have been mentioned on something.
Okay, can I just get something confirmed? I do apologize going over that. That profile, because I'm just concerned about our end users.
Yes.
That Connect profile, although at the moment it says member, you're going to change that to what it was before, i.e.
We will, yes.
Use the
we
word
will-
profiled. And is that where our people will get the information from now? We can't just hover over the picture anymore?
No.
No. Okay. Just so that we
Yeah.
know where to send our people to. And is it at all possible we can do this demonstration for those who use mobiles?
Yes. So
Because
perhaps tomorrow we can.
It's going to be in a different place for those who use mobiles.
Well, if you want to see what it looks like on a mobile, it's easy enough just to make the screen smaller. So it would look like that on a mobile. And when you click on this menu on the top left, that should open. And then you have your link to your profile there as well. Because it's all part of the same thing and there isn't a separate mobile application, this will take you to the same place, right? So that's the main difference.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now, of course, Sister Pauline, even though I said that previously we used to just be able to hover on it and it would display that as a tooltip,
Yeah.
we can see whether it's possible to actually add a tooltip to when you hover around these pictures so that it can display it. But without a tooltip, you can still do the same thing we did before, which was copy link address.
Oh, you can still just press on it. You just press your right hand button.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. As long as I know how it behaves when any of our end users are having issues and saying, well, where do I go now? At least I'll be able to tell them. That's lovely. Thank you.
All right. Super. So that's it. And over to you, unless there are any other questions or anybody else has any questions.
Go on, Dr. Linus.
Yes. Okay. The other thing the other reason for doing this is the structure, the global structure that we mentioned in our presentations yesterday. We are actually going to now make that available so it's public. Okay. So somebody couldn't come and tell you. Now, when you as you see on this particular in this particular case, it says here member. Okay. So what we would do is we will try and find a way of displaying the profile type for the particular member. Okay, and we would make that option and that information available so that other community members can actually see it and know that this is a global representative or agent. This is somebody who is at the national level. This is a person who is covering this local area and so forth. Okay. So I hope that helps.
But before you go, Dr. Linus, can I just ask, is there any member, while Dr. Linus has this particular screen displaying, have a question? Do you have a question on what he is displaying at the moment, Ambrose? Yes?
I just want to find out, we could get a value of what's sitting in this account. Where do we find that information?
Okay. You would go to
log into your account, wouldn't you?
Yeah. This
Yes.
is
Sorry, Dr. Linus, before I would click on my name, and then there another pop-up would come and it would display that value. You know, every time I access my profile,
correct.
The information will be displayed there. So how do I find that on this screen?
You click on pay, which is something that was always there before.
Right.
And it will take you here. And you can see your balance of AKL here, AKX.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's displayed, and it was always displayed under this transaction form.
All right. Well, I've learned something new.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ambrose. Is there
I have more questions later, though, but
yeah,
I'll obviously take that once the presentation's done.
Yes, thank you. Because I just wanted everybody to see the screen, ask questions on the screen about the presentation, and then we can go to, if we have time, to go to other issues that people may have. So
Okay,
thank you very
here's
much.
another, Sister Pauline, here's another thing people may not be aware of, that all the tokens, the AKX tokens, for example, if you transfer it or you earn it by sharing content and all that, there is this record of recent transactions with that is the daily update. So when I logged in, I was awarded 0.01. And this is where the information is. So there is absolutely no doubt when you do a transaction, it will also be shown here. Okay. For example, if I were to come here, any person who knows their their Connect ID, Connect username,
Empress 195.
Empress.
195.
Okay, so it will come up. You just select it, and if you want to send 1 point,
this is not your account, so I'm going to tell your wife you're spending her money.
No, it's fine. I use it for testing purposes. Okay, so if I wanted to send 1.3, 1.31505, you can attach a message if you like. When we introduced this particular functionality, it was so that we have tokens that can represent each local currency as we roll out in different countries with the Lumi as a substitute. But since we launched Transact gives you a local currency experience with your Lumi. So this is no longer necessary to extend it to all the currencies across continental Africa. Okay, that's why that list has stopped the way that it is. But if we ever need to reintroduce it, it can be done. So you'll get this pop-up which says transaction has been completed, and that's it. Now it's done. Now, when you refresh your screen, perhaps you just refresh or you click on pay again, depending on how heavily this page is cached.
Yeah, it's gone down. It's gone down.
Yeah, then you would see that it's different. And when you now look at your transaction history, you will see that 1.31505 has been sent to Sister Pauline. So this is how you can use Connect directly to exchange value with other members of the community. Say, for example, you wanted to buy a mailbox and it was 2 Lumi. You could transfer AKX to that person, or you can log into account and do the transfer there, or you can log into Transact and do the transfer there. It's a bit like having 3 credit cards in your wallet, and you can use whichever one you want because they all have value, or at least some kind of transaction limit on it.
Okay. Is there a limit on this one, like what's on the Swifting account?
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe there's a limit.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay. Of course, there is no limit because most people have only a small balance here, right? It's not a lot. All right. If there are no other questions, then I can stop.
No,
and I'll just end with the plea, please go to Connect and go to Post and start uploading content, start changing conversations, connecting with people so that we can see how the engine is behaving. And if we need to make any further changes, then we can do that as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Brother MB is not back yet. Okay. Dr. Linus.
Yes.
Sister Pauline.
Yes, Sister Lumba.
Yeah, Brother MB just gave me a call. Both of us were booted out. He has a connection problem. I think it's load shedding. But I'm also having internet connectivity problems. So I'm in and out.
Okay.
So just ask me to apologize.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Sister Lumba, for that update, because I wondered what happened to him, actually. Thank you. Do you want to present anything else, Dr. Linus, or would you prefer to go into the Q&A?
Let's go straight into Q&A.
Okay, our first one is Ambrose Morgan.
Well, thank you so much. Dr. Linus, I just wanted to get clarity.
You're cutting up, Ambrose. We're not hearing you. Is there something wrong with your volume? Ambrose? You've gone. Can anyone else hear him?
I can't.
No. Ambrose, can you sort out your mic, please, and come back? I'll go to the next person. Please sort out your mic if you can hear me, and we'll come back to you. Okay, because I've got no idea what's happened here. All right. Peter Matuku.
Thank you very much, Sister Pauline. Before, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys and the team, Dr. Linus. I'm sure this is a very big work. We can't take it for granted. Now, sorry, my voice, I have a sore throat, but I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you're fine. We're hearing you clearly.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. So I'm so grateful I was able to interact with this platform. It's the changes, and I think I love it. So mine is a suggestion. I've also noticed that whatever changes that happen on Connect right now, the notifications are being sent to the mailbox. So my suggestion is, if it's possible, since some people can have a lot of interactions and receive a lot of notifications, it would make the mailbox so busy, and which predisposes to missing very important information.
Yes.
So I was looking for a setting on the mailbox which can make me customize, because if I create a folder, I can customize and automate the coming of those notifications into a specific folder, so that my main inbox is free to receive only important, or to make me able to identify important mails when sent to me. I don't know if that is something that can be considered by the tech team, so that it can make that easier.
On the mailbox itself, to apply some rules. Yes, we can take a look.
Yes,
we
to
can
be
look
able
into
to apply some rules, and especially folder rules, so that I can create a folder and customize automation of coming of those notifications into that folder.
Okay.
If that setting is there, it would make life much easier. I tried to explore through, but I didn't see anything like that so far.
Okay. The other solution, there is another solution, is that you can go into Connect and you can manage your own notifications in terms of the information that you want to receive and how frequently you want to receive that. Are the messages literally streaming in? Are you able to share your screen and just show us reality in terms of what is happening?
Sure, I can do that. Actually, I just wanted to present something like that, so that I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually I've been receiving them, as you can see, and I tried to create a folder, but I was moving them here manually, as you can see.
Okay.
Just to keep my other, especially inbox folder, less busy with those. But I think with your suggestion of the notification settings on Connect, I think I will be able to try out that for now.
Right. Okay. Very good.
And maybe since I'm still sharing the screen, maybe I don't know that I can demonstrate the last thing I want to talk about. I think when you go to the messages, if someone sends
under personal, under what you're talking on your Swift account.
I want to go to the inbox, the messages for Connect, and maybe I can come here.
You want to go to inbox in your mailbox?
Yes, no, not mailbox, for the Connect messages.
Okay.
I think
just log into Connect. Yeah,
sure.
And then you click that envelope.
I can get it here now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to demonstrate this, which I found out that when you try to reply to someone, right now the send function is not working. Let me just try again. I also tried it on my mobile and it wasn't working. You see this? The send function is working. And I click send. Even when I do enter manually, it doesn't go.
All right. Okay. Now, the system has been set up, I can tell you for sure, with 100% confidence, that you can only send messages to somebody you are connected with already.
Someone who has already accepted the request, right?
Yes.
And I guess this one accepted, this one did. That's why I was, this is Ayo accepted it. I'm not sure, but I can actually click his name and we go there and see. Connected, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we will take a look at that, and hopefully by tomorrow, we'll get you some results.
Sure, thank you. I think that's all I had for today.
Okay, super.
Thank you, Brother Peter. You always come with real technical issues, but they're very, very important ones. So thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Frida King.
Thank you, Sister Pauline.
Yes, greetings, ma'am.
Greetings to everybody. Dr. Linus, we're still having the problem in registering persons and they are not receiving their confirmation from SWIFIN. You know, it's very difficult. You know, you try to register and then they can't get their thing from their email. So is it that at the onset that we should introduce them to the SWIFIN mailbox? What do we do?
Dr. Linus, can you unmute yourself? I wonder if he's taking a call.
Sorry, I am on mute. Sorry.
Yeah.
6 months ago, we had no plans to launch a mailbox service. Zero. What happened within the last 6 months is that we were observing the rate at which our messages were being delivered to customers and noticed that there was a high bounce rate and a high delay rate, which was impacting the service. Now, on further investigation, we discovered, again with 100% confidence, and I can show you the data, that it is not our system that has a problem, that it is not our email service that we're using at the time to deliver the messages that had the problem. The problem was caused by third-party mailing services, and we decided to then create the mailbox service so that when people need to get confirmation on very vital and important information, that they should get it when they request it at the time that they need it. Also, members of our support team will testify that, in fact, one of the biggest areas of request for help was in people resetting their password. And when the support team actually initiated a password reset, they wouldn't get it. And the same question will come up again and again and again. And so history tells us that, yes, they should start with the SWIFIN mailbox and make sure that they get that. And that's why I use a slogan, get your mailbox, connect to your account and transact. Get your mailbox, connect to your account and transact. Get your mailbox, connect to your account and transact. So that means mailbox, connect, from connect, account, from account, transact. And that's what sets you free. I hope that answers your question.
Well, yes and no, because I mean, somebody coming in new is like the impetus is going to be on the person registering them, the coach or whoever, to get that mailbox to give to them, because it's not free.
Yes, unfortunately, yes. Because I mean, how else? Okay.
I mean, I'm experiencing it. I tried registering somebody just last night,
Yes.
even before I realized that the whole system had changed, because we were expecting to get date of birth and stuff to register, and we just saw this nickname thing, coming up. So, I was wondering and waiting until today to find out if there was a change, or, it was somebody else trying to do something on the system.
No, it's a major change, and that change is only on Connect. Okay, the change is only on Connect. There is no change on Transact yet. There is no change on Account, and we monitor messages that are going out on Account. And I can tell you that every time a new person registers, we get notification that that event has taken place. And we use that as some kind of instrument to alert us as to the potential difficulty of people creating accounts. And also to...
If you keep, hello, I will put you in the waiting room if you keep on unmuting yourself. It's okay. Just a moment, Dr. Linus, because this person is thinking I'm joking. As soon as I locate them, they're going in the waiting room. Okay, well, they're quiet now. Sorry, Dr. Linus.
That's okay. So, Sister Thira, I hope that answers your question. And I know it's not necessarily the answer that you want, but we want them to get the mailbox. Because we know that if they get the mailbox, the experience is a different one. You have a different problem, like Peter said. You get every notification, every message that needs to come in comes in. Okay, now you have to say, well, I mean, this is what I want to receive, and this is what I don't want to receive.
Yeah, but I mean, my contention is that, you are introducing them to this system. Say, for example, I'm introducing them, so it's going to be on me to give them a mailbox from the outside. And that's what we probably will have to be telling everybody, if those who are having problems in receiving them. Because as I said, just last night, I tried registering somebody, and up to now, they haven't received it because they were using a Yahoo email address.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yahoo is actually blocking. Yahoo is actually blocking emails to the recipient. Gmails are delaying them, and Hotmails are delaying them. So if it was a Gmail account or a Hotmail account, you may not get it today. You may get it 2 or 3 days down the line and wonder, what the heavens is this? Not remembering that you're actually sitting there waiting for it. But Yahoo, they're actually blocking. Dr. Linus has umpteen emails where they just haven't been delivered, and most of them are Yahoo addresses.
For example, right now, now that the stimulus payments are going on, if you imagine more than 2 million people, for example, then every message that goes out, every stimulus payment that goes out, one person gets notified that they have received their stimulus payment. But when that stimulus payment is made, then it triggers T1, T2, T3, T4, and T5 payments to other members of the system, of the ecosystem. And so for one transaction, we need to send out at least 6 messages to potentially 6 different people. And those messages are being sent out, no problem. Our system is handling it, no problem. But for some reason, some people just don't get them. If you have a Swift mailbox, you will get it. And if you lose access to your Swift mailbox and need your password to be reset at any time, you can contact the support team and they will be able to help you to do that. It is the best way to go forward. Now, remember that at the moment, of course, everyone needs to participate in the free stimulus distribution, but that ends anyway in October, which is not very far from now. So those who have not been gathering their Lumi, the only way they'll be able to get it after October, unless that stimulus payment period is extended, is they would have to buy it. But as you can see yourself, we've started the process of onboarding kingdoms, and that process is going. I mean, it's immense. That's why we also felt that we needed to make the changes in Connect now rather than later, because later it would be more challenging with millions of people or potentially hundreds of people signing up every day, hundreds of thousands of people signing up every day. At peak, we were having 10,000 registrations a day. Okay, it slowed down a little bit because of the difficulties with email delivery, difficulties with actually getting consistent connection with the system and all that. So we believe that once those are solved, then those numbers can start going through again at a very high pace.
Okay, hope that answers your question, Sister Frida.
I mean, there's nothing I can do, Sister Pauline. I just have to go with the punches.
Yeah.
I guess
I do take on board what you're saying, but it's the third party that's actually stopping it from going through, not the Swiftin platform. They've done several checks from Swiftin to the server, and it's going through fine. And then, but it's the third, and then it's going through to the third party, but the third party is not delivering it to the end user, and that's where the issue lies. The only alternative, if you can buy the bulk and sell it. I mean, it's just like any business. If you wanted a particular business email address, you would have to pay for that. Yahoo, Gmail, and Hotmail, they're all free, but they control. So that, you know, that's the toss-up that we got to think about. All right. So I do take on board your issue though, but thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Brother Ambrose, you're back.
Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's much better. That's much better. Can you go ahead, sir, and ask your question?
Yes, all right. As I mentioned earlier regarding Pick n Pay in South Africa, I contacted the general manager at that particular store where the video was shot. And he told me that there was no training that was done there. And he had told the guys that were there to contact Pick n Pay head office in Cape Town. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but Pick n Pay does not accept the Lumi.
Thank you. Dr. Linus, where are you? Dr. Linus?
Yes, sorry, I'm muted. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that news, Brother Ambrose. If Pick n Pay doesn't accept the Lumi, Pick n Pay doesn't accept the Lumi. It doesn't cancel the fact that there were conversations in the background with the intention for Pick n Pay to start accepting the Lumi, because the Pick n Pay branch that they went to is the one in Harrismith, which is within the kingdom that has decided to adopt the Lumi as their legal tender. I know at the moment, people are getting top up for their salaries from local municipal, from at least one of the local municipal councils, where they get their rand salary and then a top up to meet the minimum wage to the minimum wage level. And that top up is will be paid purely in Lumi. So that is the situation in terms of what is happening in South Africa. And particularly the kingdom that has adopted, the Bako local kingdom that has adopted the Lumi as their legal tender. I can only say it as it is. That's the situation. But of course, it is a process to get Pick and Pay that has branches across multiple outlets in South Africa to start accepting Lumi. And I think that video was probably premature, but it doesn't rule out the fact that it was shot at Pick and Pay and the manager at that particular branch was present. I joined that training session remotely. I was on Zoom.
Right. But he had mentioned that he had referred you guys to speak to the guys in Cape Town, which is where their head office is.
Okay, then the team that is dealing with liaising with businesses, they must be doing their job in the background, and we cannot preempt anything in terms of the conversations that may be going on. But that training did take place. I was present via Zoom.
Okay, all right. So you can't actually say whether the guys down there had made contact with Pick and Pay head office, because effectively their head office are the guys that will say it's okay to go ahead, that this can then be utilized throughout South Africa, not just specifically to Harry Smith.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. But quite frankly, the responsibility for the engagement with local businesses is now in the hands of the local municipalities and the kingdom that is also onboarding at the same time their subjects within that kingdom and all the businesses in that kingdom. It is a process. It will take some time to onboard all of them, but they are doing it. They have started doing it now. For those businesses that have that would participate in the minimum wage offering, then it goes without saying that if they can pay extra Lumi to their staff so that their staff can attain a minimum wage, then they have a use for the Lumi that they will receive when people come and buy goods and services from them.
Right. So is this only specific to Harry Smith?
Well, it is specific to the kingdom, and Harry Smith is within that kingdom. At the moment, we're doing this step by step, and there are other kingdoms that, of course, are in discussions, but again, we're not going to preempt or discuss that at the moment. But there are a lot of conversations that are going on in the background.
Right.
A lot of conversations are going on in the background. It's a lot of work. I mean, the fact that we've made the kind of progress that we have made within the shortest possible length of time is actually quite amazing. Right. People can sometimes be overwhelmed at the fact that they've been getting their Lumi for some time now, and there isn't a shop where they can walk into to start using it. But they are dealing with a very complex market and a complex structure and a complex setup, where for many, many years, many people have been excluded from accessing any form of digital financial services, let alone digital transaction services. It's a 1.7 billion problem around the world, and in Africa, it affects more than 91% of people in some markets, in some countries. Now, within the continent itself, even though we have the African Continental Free Trade Area, there are 54 countries operating with more than 40 different currencies. So you can imagine that it will be a challenge to do the kind of thing that we're doing on the scale that we want to do it. That's why it is the important step is to get it into every household, to make sure every household has their Lumi. And then we provide the tools which can enable them to exchange it for goods and services, first and foremost, that they produce themselves. So the idea is that you produce what you produce what you eat, or you eat what you produce and produce what you eat. So you can sell the excess to another neighbor that is maybe producing something else that you can also consume. But by having a common benchmark of exchanging value, then it provides people with a mechanism to actually exchange the goods and services they produce themselves, right? So that is part of the idea, first and foremost, and we will achieve that goal. We will achieve that result. It will take time.
Ambrose, I do take on board that you may have a number of issues, but we also have a number of hands up. So
no, just another issue. I just want to find out.
Can you just be very quick, please, sir?
Yes, no, I will. I just want to find out with regard to the KYC. I had some time submitted information, but when I go on to Transact, it still asks me to upload information. Is there a way that I can check if I am cleared?
Right. If you're on your KYC, what's actually, Dr. Linus, is it okay if I take that? Yes. Oh, Sister Lumba, is she here? She may have, because she was saying that she's, Sister Lumba.
Yes, I am, sorry.
Yes, can you answer, Brother Ambrose, please? He's saying that
yes.
Regarding his KYC. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Brother Ambrose.
Thank you. So, yes, Sister Lumba.
Yes, so what happens is this, when you fill in your information for your KYC and you submit, then it comes to our admin desk and we go through it and we make sure that all the fields have been filled in correctly. So if everything is okay, we will approve it. And on your Transact page, you will see that notification asking you to submit your KYC will disappear. So if you see that the sign kindly submit your KYC is still showing, it means there must be something wrong with your KYC. For you to find out that information, if your application was attached to an AKL transfer request, you can go into your Swiffin account, go into personal and check your message, and you'll find the reason why your KYC has been rejected.
Okay.
Also within the KYC, also in your own email address that is attached to your Transact, okay? Because some people are not using the same email for all their accounts. Right. The specific email that you're using for Transact, kindly check your messages, because we will also send you a message there specifically dealing with the KYC issues.
But there was no email that came through regarding that.
On your personal email?
Yes, correct. I only use one email.
Okay, have you checked on your Swiffin messages as well?
I don't find anything there.
Brother Ambrose, have you actually done a transaction in actually?
No.
Right.
This is
all you've done is just your KYC.
Just to KYC.
Right.
If I gave my ID number, are you able to check?
Yeah, not today.
No, we don't need your ID number. What you can do is send me your names as they're written on Transact, and I will be able to check for you, and I will send a response directly to your email address.
Okay, where do I send that message to? Via chat?
In the chat.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
If I may help.
Brother Patrick, yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. Brother Ambrose, I've just checked your KYC. Yes, you submitted and it's still on pending. So I'm just going to have a look at it and see if it can be approved or if there may be anything that you need to correct.
Okay, this was done some time ago.
Yeah, we have a queue. Brother
yes,
Ambrose.
Yes.
We have a queue.
Last year.
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We have a queue of thousands of people.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And we only have 2 hands each person. Yeah, so you could imagine. And some people are submitting 2 and 3, not understanding the system. And so we've got to check those accounts every single time. So if you could just be patient with us, Brother Patrick is going to check it for you. So we'll just take it from there.
Yes, and actually, Sister Pauline, Actually, Brother Ambrose, you did not upload your the picture of your ID. So it's an automatic rejection.
When you say ID, this would be, is this not the same picture that's on my profile?
No, your ID,
No.
your passport or your driving license or your country ID.
Oh, okay. All right. Then that explains.
All right.
So I'm not going to reject your KYC. I'm just advising you go back
To
there
upload
and
upload the ID.
Yes.
a
All right.
clear and readable picture of your ID or driver's license or passport.
All right. I certainly will do that.
All right.
Thank you so much, Brother Patrick.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you, Brother Patrick. Thank you, Sister Lumba.
And just to emphasize on that point, Sister Pauline, thank you very much, Sister Lumba and Brother Patrick. Brother Ambrose, this is a process that the team goes through. They painstakingly check each account.
Mhm.
Now, the reason for that is, we are dealing with a population and a market with a structure that is very different from what you might find in some countries.
Mhm.
For example, if you are in the UK or some other country where there is an organized central government database where you can query to check certain information about the applicant, then it is easy to automate that process. But in many countries, across the 54 countries within continental Africa, those processes do not necessarily exist. And we are very painstakingly creating an acceptable way of identifying people using the best piece of information we have, including feedback from the members of the community who might know them in some instances. So each check is individualized. So there is a long queue for that. Unfortunately, it's a very long queue. There is nothing we can do about it to make it shorter other than just process it and go through with it. I hope that helps.
We're just going to mute some people here.
And so for other members of the community who are patiently waiting, please just be patient. I can tell you that the team is working really hard and they are doing an excellent job.
Right, we have
Thank you, Dr. Linus.
Thank you, Brother Ambrose. We have a persistent offender. I'm just trying to locate them, so I do apologize for this. Right, Abaya, please, Amanda Abaya, please mute yourself or you'll be removed. Okay. No arguments. Right. The next one is Tatena. Next person is Tatena. Greetings.
Thank you very much and greetings to everyone. My question is it possible to purchase a Swifin mailbox using AKX from the Swifin Connect account?
The answer is no, because we haven't set up that process, okay, to buy directly. Actually, no, not a single one. Of course, no, you can buy it with a bundle.
It's no. If you want to buy a mailbox, you use your Swifin account.
Yes.
And it's going to cost you 20 AKL.
Correct.
Okay.
And if you are going to use it, please put your first name, middle name, and last name, just in case your name is familiar.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Or buy a bundle, which is going to be cheaper for you.
All right.
If you buy a bundle, you can pay with AKX on Connect.
All right.
That's the only way you can pay with AKX on Connect, by buying a bundle.
All right. No, that's okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. Oh, I like that question. Straight to the point. Lovely. The next one is Sister Pamela. You're not coming through. You're not coming through clear at all. is it at all possible you can sort out your mic and come back, because you're not coming through clear at all? While you're sorting out your mic, Sister Pamela, I'll go to the next person, but please sort out your mic and come back. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Okay, I've got a few things to offer. I still have my problem with my account. Is I haven't updated my photo, but system is not letting me add anybody. I think there's a lock on my account somewhere, because it's not letting me add anybody, register anybody. And I've got loads of people. I've got to register now.
Sister Pamela, your account is not locked. Okay, there is no reason why Swiffin would lock your account, unless you've been trying to get into your account and you've been using the incorrect username or password, then maybe it might temporarily block you. But other than that, no.
No, I'm getting in. I'm signing in. I'm able to sign in, but I'm not able to change anything or register anybody.
What are you using to register?
I'm going in to register and I'm trying to put the people's name in.
What account are you referring to?
This Swiffin.
Right. So are you logging into your Swiffin account and then going into brokering?
Yes.
Okay.
We did it with people.
Right. And you sent the message off.
I have been trying to register them by actually adding the details. Whatever way I do it, it's not doing it. It's just not doing it. It's telling me error occur. It's telling me the same thing it was telling me before. So it's not working, but it would have worked.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Can you share your Swiffin ID? Share your Swiffin ID. I will have a look just to make sure that it's not something to do with your account that is stopping you from doing that. It's unlikely, but we can check.
Yeah, can you send that to can you send that to him privately, please?
Just send your Swiffin ID to me and I'll check for you.
Right. Your next question, Sister Pamela.
Right. Okay.
Your system.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the referral link, that was going to be referral system that was going to be put back. Is it definitely going to be? Because it's a problem, because some people do not want to give their email, and if I'm going to give them information and I'm going to drop it in their hand because they don't want to give the information, they could go and look at it and then decide, you know what, I've got people say no to me, and right on the computer here as this meeting is going on, they come back and say yes because I send them certain information.
Well, that is a person's choice, is it not? If you've given them the information and they then want to come back to you, is it not their choice?
But they still don't want to give the email. So if they go and sign up, then we need to have them.
You're cutting up, Sister Pamela. You're cutting up. You're cutting up. I'm not hearing you clearly. Please sort out your mic, Sister Pamela, and come back to us, because I'm not hearing you clearly, ma'am. Thank you. Achille Paul, I hope I pronounced that right. Brother Paul, please help me if I've done the pronunciation incorrect. Achille Paul. Okay. Brother Gilbert. Oh, Brother Gilbert. Brother Gilbert. Yeah, I'm not hearing you, sir. Hello. Bonjour. Yeah, your mic is not good. Or is it me? Can anybody hear him clearly? Please confirm.
No, we can't hear anything.
We can't hear him.
Okay, Brother Gilbert, please sort out your mic and come back. Brother Gilbert, please sort your mic out if you can hear me and come back. Okay, go to the next person. Shalom.
Sister Pauline, perhaps we take one more question. It's already 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because the other ones are just fairly, no, but Achille was here before. So, Brother Achille, do you want to come back if you sorted out your mic?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
that's better. That's better.
Okay. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Could you be specific with your question?
Yes, my question is that for those of us that are helping people to register.
It's mic issue. But Akile, we're going to have to stop it there because we can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you. Dr. Linus, we've got quite a few hands up. So what do you want me to do? Take the names down and we come back and deal with those tomorrow?
I think that is the best thing, yes, because we have overshot on the time. I really do sincerely apologize.
Yeah, and please, when you come in, can you please ensure that hopefully your mics are as clear as they can be. You can test them out to make sure they're coming through as clear as possible. Because at the moment, and I do appreciate it might be technical issues in your areas, but we will do our endeavors to get to you. And I'm just taking down all the names here so that we go to you first thing tomorrow. So for that, I do apologize. Okay. So go ahead, Dr. Linus, we will close off.
Okay, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time this evening. Apologies if your hand is still up and we run out of time to take the question. We'll meet again tomorrow. As it is the case, this is a collaborative movement like no other. And the little that we do from our corner, where we are, within our communities, is what is going to make all the difference. Because it's that collective effort that is going to get us into every household so that the 91% or so people who are excluded in some countries can become part of this movement and can have access to the Lumi so that they have a common instrument of exchanging value, both from within continental Africa and with the African diaspora. That is our mission, that as a community, we have a common instrument of exchanging value, and we deliver unparalleled access to everyone who has been excluded for generations, so that amongst the community, for the first time, we should be able to start exchanging goods and services with one another, producing what we eat and eating what we produce. Okay? Or let me put it another word, consuming what we eat and producing what we consume amongst the community. So on that note, I bid you all a very good night. And as a reminder, please go into Connect. We have made some substantial changes and we need that system to be bitten as you know, just ram it as much as you can, so that we can identify any issues immediately and fix it, if any. But the work is ongoing, and we will continue to do that throughout tonight, tomorrow. Hopefully by Monday it should be all set and stable. But it is stable as it is. Go and use it, and report any issues that you find so that we can sort them out quickly. This may be surprising that we are doing this live and in real time. You saw yourself pictures of people queuing out, and there are thousands in the kingdom in South Africa that is adopting the Lumi. The interest is growing. The Jamaican Lumineers are reorganizing themselves with vigor, and the country structures that are being put in place to ensure that every village can be represented is very much in motion. This is so important that, and I'm sure you would all recognize this, that on this sort of scale, it is not something that we can wait for somebody to come and do for us. It's something we have to do ourselves. It's one of those things that we have to do ourselves. And that's why it's so important, the participation from each and every one of us across all the communities, so that we can stop this decades-old problem of exclusion and lack of a common instrument of exchanging value. So on that note, I bid you a very good night. And we will see you again tomorrow at the same time for another hour. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Linus. Thank you each and every one. I hope to see many of you tomorrow. Apologies to those people I didn't get around to, but you will be the first. I will call you out tomorrow for you to ask your question on anything you've seen today or something that's come to mind, because it will only, just like you're thinking about it, someone else in the community is probably thinking about it and it will assist them. So with that being said, I bid you all good night, good morning or good afternoon, and I see you tomorrow, 8:30, through the grace of the Most High, of course, 8:30 South Africa time tomorrow. And whatever Sister Emma has said, I'm sure it's a good night. I can't pronounce it, but blessings to you, Sister Emma. So on that note.
What did she said? Lala Salama?
Something
Good
like
night.
that. Yeah, something like that.
Good night. In Swahili, it's Lala Salama.
No, it sounds like it's Sigu. Let me turn the recording off. So it sounds like it. Let me stop the recording here.
Usiku mwema.
Yeah, it's Siku
Mwema. Good night.
Yeah, something like that. It's Siku, but I can't pronounce the other part.
Mwema.
Good night. But thank you, Sister Emma. You, by the time you're finished with me, I will be proficient in Swahili. So thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bonne nuit, bonne nuit.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Brother Patrick.
Good
bye.
night, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Anyala.
Good night. Good night,
Good night. Good night, Sister Pauline. Good night.
Good night,
Sister
good night, Brother Patrick. Thank you so much for your
night.
support.
Thank you.
Good night, Sister Pauline. Good night.
Oh, can I just tell everyone, when you come on the platform, or if you're inviting anyone on the platform, can you please can you hold on, please? If you're inviting anyone on the platform or you are coming on the platform, please write your name. Because if you do not write your name, I will evict you from the platform. We don't do aliases. We are a family. I wouldn't call you Oi. I wouldn't call you Nokia. I wouldn't call you A. Yeah, so let's be respectful. Either tell your visitor to please rename themselves or you rename them. Yeah, so let's be respectful on the platform. I had to evict a couple of people today. Yeah. I had to evict a couple of people today, which wasn't very nice. So please be mindful. If you're coming on the platform, please put your name. All right. So I just wanted to thank